Did you know that every brand perception can be influenced by brand identity design? Well, stick to the end of this video to find out. What's up, guys? It's Collins here, and today we're going to be talking about brand perception. And I promised about this video in our previous video, and I was doing my research and I got to find out that brand perception, wow, is almost 99% of a brand. How customer sees your brand is simply brand perception. So now brand perception can bring in customers to you, or it can push them away. Now this is a very strong statement, but it's the fact, it's real. And brand perception is how, let's hold it right there, we'll get to the definition. So we've all heard the statement that says, do not judge a book by its cover. Well, no, we all know that, but obviously, unconsciously or involuntarily, we do judge things the way we see them, don't you? And you're not going to lie to me that if you're given a bottle of Coke and it has a yellowish liquid in it, but it's a Coke bottle, not a Fanta bottle, a Coke bottle, but what's inside is having the Fanta color, wouldn't you judge that? So in fact, 100% of us judge things the way they look, and that's totally normal. Now, research has shown that 66% of customers value transparency as one of the most attractive qualities in a brand. Now, who doesn't love transparency in a company? Now, I bet you one of your favorite brands, like say the Apple, for instance, are very transparent. Yes, they are, and we'll not get into Apple talk right now. Now, another research has shown that 86% of customers look at authenticity before to support a brand, no matter how blind you are. In fact, no matter how dumb you are, you definitely fall for brand that is authentic. Now, I do check. There's a site I use to confirm if a website is authentic before I make any form of transaction on that site. Now that comes to me naturally. I need to know, okay, what I'm about to pay for, or this platform I'm about to use, are they real? Now, this is natural. We just fall or we support brands that are real, that are authentic, and you don't have to kill yourself about that. It's real. So now let's do this. Let's say we walk up to anyone on the street, or let's do it between me and you now. You could drop your own answer in the comment section. Now, if you are a Coke lover, I'll just tell you, which do you prefer, Coke or Pepsi, and why? Just drop your own comment in the section. Now, a Coke fan might say this: it tastes better than Pepsi, obviously. Now, Pepsi is too sweet, or too bitter, or not sweet enough. Let me not use the word bitter. It might be too sweet or not sweet enough for me. And moreover, I like the color red better than blue. And this is a Coke fan talking. And it might go further to say, it's a season of Christmas, so Santa is everywhere, and Coca-Cola acknowledges Fanta. That makes me fall in love with them more. Now, this is a typical answer that the Coca-Cola lover will give to you. Why? Because of his own individual perception of the brand Coca-Cola. So now the big deal, or the big question: what is this brand perception? What is this brand perception? Now, brand perception is the sum of a consumer's feeling, experience, and thoughts about the brand or a service. Now, the way a customer feels about the brand or product, the way that customer experiences the brand or product, or the way the customer thinks about a brand, about the product or services, influenced by what he or she might have seen, heard, or feel, or experienced. That is the brand perception. Now, what brand perception does is that it builds a certain image of a brand in the mind of these consumers. So most times in most blogs or articles or most videos, you tend to hear brand image and brand perception. Brand perception is what builds the image. And there are certain things that have or influence this brand perception. We will get to that in time. So it is simply what people believe a brand represents rather than what that brand says it represents. If Coca-Cola comes out today and say they are energy drink, yes, that they have decided to be, in fact, that Coke, a bottle of Coke would give you more energy than those of us here in Nigeria, more than what Predator will give to you, or Fearless. How would you feel about that? Because to me, it wouldn't even fit them to start with. Coca-Cola, the way I see Coca-Cola, is all about happiness, it's all about togetherness, it's all about sportsmanship, it's all about fun. Just relax and do your thing. That's Coca-Cola. Now, if they come out to say, no, we're an energy drink, that would take time to change, because my current perception of them now is different from what they are saying. So you see that what people see or believe a brand represents can be totally different from what the brand thinks it represents. I hope I've cleared that part. Now, so brand perception drives brands to create advertisement for their product or services. Definitely. How, if you get to study how customers perceive you or your product or your service, and you've done some research, you've done some surveys, and get to know that, okay, out of 100 people that have done this survey, about 65% are having similar question. That means that is how most people see or perceive your brand. Then that would help you when you are doing your next advertisement, because it will feel personalized to them. I recently watched a video about of my mentor with Daniel, the author of Key Person of Influence, and he was specifying on data analysis, how data analysis would be a thing in the future. And I believe it has started, because most ads you see are personalized to you. Now, there's something that I have noticed in both YouTube and video, because I watch videos a lot. In both YouTube and Facebook, because I watch videos a lot. If I watch, let me use wrestling for instance. Then if I watch wrestling 3 times in a day from Facebook, the next time I open the video up, they would start with wrestling. Now, they've gotten to understand that this is the video I spend more time on. So they will tend to throw more videos on that. Same thing with advertisement. If they notice, okay, this is the kind of art you fall for, maybe you've liked it and you shared, or maybe you went through the comment. If it's a product if it's an ad for a show, let's say, the next time you're seeing an ad, it's going to be about a show. Now, their AI has recognized that, okay, this is what you do the most. So they will tend to send more ads that are related to that to you. Now, that is personalized experience, and this is what brand perception does. Okay, so when you know how people perceive your brand, it's easier to shape its reputation. It's easier to help customers understand what sets you apart. Yes, it's very easy to do that, because by then you could relate with them in their own language, and doing that, you've built trust. You definitely built trust by just doing that, and they'll feel more relaxed, comfortable, and it might surprise you to know that they would positively refer a friend to you. Okay, so now what is the benefit, or what are the benefits of brand perception? I'm going to just talk about 2, and you could do your assignment. So number 1, easy introduction of new product or services, what I just talked about some minutes ago. It's easier to launch a new product or service when you have successfully built a strong and positive brand perception. If your brand, or if your customers are not familiar with your brand values or what you are offering, they will be hesitant to purchase your product. Now, this is where it boils down to understanding your client's perception of your brand. If you understand how your client perceive your brand, and you've built this relationship with them by giving them more of what you know they need in their own language, communicating well with them in their own language, building that trust, giving them that friendly environment to feel relaxed, knowing they could trust you, then you'll find it easy to introduce a new product or a new service. And believe me, if they are pleased with this new product or service, they would joyfully refer. So this is one thing you should consider when building a brand. We'll get to the identity part. When building a brand, get to do surveys of how people would see or how people see this your brand, how they perceive it, what kind of image they have about this brand. That way you'll be able to connect with them easier than you think. Now, the next option or the next benefit is increased customer trust. Is something I have just mentioned. Maintaining your customers' trust is crucial in the crowded marketplace. Oh, we are too many in this part of the world. I've seen a whole lot of designers, and then the new ones coming in might have this fear of, we're already too much. How will people even find me? I'm not talking about niche now, so that will come in future videos. But you don't need to be afraid of how many people are in that industry already, or how many competitors you have. You just have to find your own audience, your own customers, get to relate with them in their own language after you find out how they perceive you, what kind of image they have of you, and then relate with them in their own language. This way, you could earn their trust by providing unique services and being at the forefront of solving their problems. My mentor Chris Do always say, customers don't buy the best solution, or they don't pay for the best solution. They pay for the least risky option. So if you know that these are the kind of things your customers like, or this is how they see you, then give it to them that way. That way you keep them, so they don't have to think about your competitor over you. Now, this is the differentiating factor between you and your competitor, and that builds trust for you. Why do people still prefer Coca-Cola over Pepsi? They have gotten to the level where they have these loyal customers that no matter how watery Coke is now, people still buy it. Yes, I was with a friend some weeks ago, and we were in this eatery, and he asked me what I would love to drink, and I said Fanta, and he ordered for Coke. And in between our conversation, he said, Coke is the drink. I said, no, it's a drink. He said, no, there's no competition. Now, what I'm thinking cannot be compared to Coke. Now, it's the same company, but he feels more connected to Coke than what I was taking. I was taking Sprite. So he feels more connected to Coke than I was. And me, I feel more connected to Sprite than he is. So these are two different people having different perception for a particular company, which is Coca-Cola. But those different products. But we all have our likes and dislikes. Not that I hate Coke, please. I love Coke, but I prefer Sprite. That is just me. So get to know your customers, and then build your trust. Now, what are the factors that influence brand perception? We have 3 factors that influence brand perception. We have personal experience, we have social cues, and we have marketing. Personal experience is, as the word says, personal experience is the personal experience a customer have with a brand. Now, this personal experience can be influenced by 3 things: the price, the quality, and your level of service. This is what influences how a customer personally relates with a product or a service. A price is high or low? Is it within the client's budget or not? Is it fair? Is the client seeing the value in that product or service? That's what the amount. The quality, is your product or service better than his previous brand? than his previous partner? Is it better than those he worked with before? The level of your service, how do you interact? Are you working as a pro? Are you working as a beginner? Are you working as an intermediate? All of these influence your client's personal experience with your brand. The next one is social cues. And what influences social cues are what they've heard from people around them or what they have seen. This is one of the factors that influence the brand perception. We are in the digital era where social media is at its peak. Yes. So the first thing you do when you're about the brand is Google, right? So you get to read the reviews about this, their new product from people. Like, okay, let me tell you my own experience. Whenever I make shopping on Jumia, there are too many people selling that particular thing on Jumia. So what I do is that I go to the customer review to see if out of 10 reviews I see 6 bad, I'll check the next day. But if the reviews are good on a particular product, I've made the order. So these are part of the things that influence social cues about a brand. It's one of the things that affect or influence the way brands are being perceived. If you have more bad reviews than good, you are creating a bad persona. You should check what you're doing wrong that customers don't like and correct that. So social media, they'll go to your social media, still check out this one or that. So these are part of the things that influence a brand. And the next is the marketing. And what influence marketing is branding and advertising. Branding, from your colors to your typeface, how you're packaged, how you are online and physically. It could be up to you, the smell of the product or the fragrance of your office. That's how the branding is. And also advertisement, how each ad you run connects to your customer. These are how people could perceive your brand. So now, how does brand identity influence brand perception? Brand identity, as we all know, is what we use to identify a brand. Whatsoever makes a brand recognizable is the brand identity. It could be the color, it could be the logo, it could be the typeface, it could be the voice, it could be the tone. Whatsoever could be the visual, the shapes, and all of that. Whatsoever we could use to identify a brand is the brand identity. Now, the way this works is that they are what we call brand personality. Now, we should know which brand personality works well, or what a certain brand is trying to evoke. What kind of feeling, what kind of emotion a certain brand is trying to evoke. Most of us will know psychology of colors or psychology of shapes. We know it's crazy to use the color red or pink or orange for a luxury brand. There are just 3 popular colors when it comes to luxury brand. We have purple, we have black, and we have gold. Now, if you use orange or green, what are you trying to do? Then now the company says, I need a friendly brand, and you're using red. Now, come on. Now, this brand personality example: innovative, social, harsh, luxury, friendly. These are examples of brand personality. Now, when we are doing our research after the discovery phase, we get to fully understand what the brand is about. When we understand this and get to create a client persona for this brand, it's easier to create a brand identity that will resonate with your client persona. Now, if you try this, do your best, and you run a survey, and it doesn't get the target audience or the type of client persona you've created, then you have to redo your work. Now, the way brand perception works is that it creates a brand image of a brand in the mind of a consumer. Now, the major factor that affects this brand perception is the brand identity, which evokes a certain feeling, emotion, or experience. Feeling or experience. Feeling and emotion is a feeling. Feeling and experience. So my advice to all brand identity designers is, when you're building a brand identity, do your assignment well. So guys, this is where we're going to be wrapping it up. This is where we draw the curtain close for brand perception. Now, if you have any questions in regards to branding and brand perception, please send me a direct message on Twitter. Twitter handle is @CollinsFrancis. And the question I asked earlier, to drop the answer in the comment section. If you were to choose between Coke and Pepsi, which would you choose and why? Let me know in the comment section, guys. And I'll be really happy to read what you guys have learned from this video. If you've learned something, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And always remember to stay positive.